early Saturday morning here, May 30th. This is not weather related. Let me just start out there. I decided to go live here this morning because it's, well, late at night. It's the middle of the night. But this report that I'm getting in, are you guys hearing about this? It's, again, not weather related, but it is local to Wisconsin. The reports that are coming in tonight of this United Airlines flight, Chicago to Minneapolis. So if you haven't heard about it, again, a lot of this is still not confirmed because it's the middle of the night. Some of this has been confirmed in terms of I was able to track down the flight logs and that this flight was diverted and so on. But then there's a lot that we don't know yet because it just happened within the last hour. A United Airlines flight 2005, I believe, from Chicago to Minneapolis was diverted to Madison, Wisconsin, tonight because of a potential, what they call a level 4 security threat, which would be like a breach of cockpit type deal. And apparently the plane squawked a 7500, which is the potential of a major security incident like a hijacking or something like that, which is very rare, apparently, to squawk a 7500. And I want to hear from folks, especially in the aviation sector, if you know kind of any more about this. But again, I'm just seeing these reports coming in. So I can confirm the flight was diverted to Madison. And then the reports again, and this is a little more unconfirmed, although I've heard some of the audio, the ATC audio, saying that they were looking for a Russian translator, and then it was somebody that spoke Russian that they took off the plane, and maybe it was a mental health issue of some sort, and the plane landed safely. Everybody was fine. Which is certainly very good news, but that's all we know at this point. And again, in terms of the suspect and all that, it's unconfirmed right now. That's just sort of what's being reported. And so I've seen a lot of that. But I'm just kind of sitting here, late at night thinking, my gosh, this plane took off from Chicago, flew directly over Waukesha, Wisconsin, which is maybe 15 miles away from me, and then diverted over to Madison, where, again, according to ATC audio, and whether that's true or not, I can't fully, I don't want to fully speculate because I don't really know, but I'm sitting here going, this is a massive story. According to ATC audio, governor's office was being made aware. I believe the Air Force being made aware as well, obviously. But, and I'd love to hear from folks who are familiar with aviation, because it sounds to me like a squawk of 7,500, which is the same type of a squawk as a potential hijacking or a breach of cockpit or whatever. And again, who knows what the threat was, other than it looks like it was a level 4 threat. There's ACARS data, which is going between pilots and the airline, that was also pushing this out there of, hey, just to let you know, there's been a serious incident on one of these flights. But again, specifically to that, we don't know. But it sounds like, that Squawk 7500 is pretty rare. So, yeah, would love to hear from you guys. But I'm just sitting here tonight. Obviously, it's hard to get information in the middle of the night on a Friday night. But, I'm here in Milwaukee, and I'm like, this plane was pretty close. Now, maybe this was simply a disturbed individual, and there were reports that there was an off-duty law enforcement officer on board who was able to assist and get the person subdued or what have you. But how scary for people on that flight tonight, number one. Here you are on a late night flight, probably just trying to get home. It's a Friday night. And then this happens, you're tired, you're ready to get home and out of nowhere. But I think what strikes me a little bit more, and again, I'm just a weather guy. So but I'm obsessed with news, and being that this plane literally flew 15 miles from my house has me even more, it's a very big story for me because it's in my backyard. but also the seemingly rare nature of this and how scary that would be for the folks on board. But so if you guys have heard anything, let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to kind of hear your take on it. I'm not obviously an aviation expert, but just going through a lot of these unconfirmed reports so far, it certainly sounds very scary. And there's obviously a lot of unknowns when these types of things happen, but it certainly sounds like it's uh, a rare event. Thankfully, it's a rare event, but I mean, it sounds like these level 4 type security breaches and Squawk 7500s are not overly common. And again, I'm not overly familiar with all of what that means, but I'm just kind of sitting here reading through all of this saying, oh my gosh, like this is a massive story that, is happening in southern Wisconsin tonight. And so, again, sounds like thankfully everybody's okay, but I mean, my gosh, that would be such a scary situation for those folks to be in. And thankfully, from the sounds of it, it sounds like there were amazing people on board, the law enforcement, flight attendants, the flight crew. I mean, how scary that must be. But, I think that's another thing that I'm just kind of sitting here thinking about is, we all walk on the airplane, we say hello to the flight attendants, and they get us our drinks and they get us our snacks, right? And I don't think we really appreciate the duty that they all have to keep everybody safe, right? Everybody safe, everybody calm. And, certainly it sounds like they did that tonight on this flight, but, and that's just a huge shout out to all those folks every day who do this. So huge shout out to everyone there. But again, if you have any more details, let me know. I don't have anything confirmed. Again, if you're just joining and you're saying, why is the Milwaukee meteorologist on at 12:30 in the morning? It has nothing to do with weather, but this just has to do with the reports coming in tonight of a United Airlines flight from Chicago to Minneapolis that was diverted to Madison, flew over southeastern Wisconsin, diverted to Madison because of a level 4 security incident, essentially the potential there of someone trying to breach the cockpit or something to that effect. Everybody is safe. Everybody is okay. So that's good. But I'm, again, just kind of sitting here going, whew, to me, that would be a huge story anywhere, let alone right in our backyard as well. So if you guys know anything, let me know. I just figured I'd come on and spend a little time with you guys because I'm just kind of trying to wrap my head around this. And obviously we'll know more tomorrow, but I think the important point is everybody's okay. And we'll know more about that. So yeah, if you have any aviation experience, I'd love to hear from you in the comments as to what it all means. Cause I don't really know outside of what I'm reading. I've heard some of the ATC, audio allegedly that's come in and that sort of thing, but I don't know the protocols. I don't know, who gets notified at what level and that sort of a thing. So, but I think that this is obviously a huge story. So hope you guys are doing well and enjoy the rest of the weekend. And again, let me know, if you have any details in the comments, I'd love to hear them.